If you're a photographer who wants to shoot for car brands one day, here are 5 things I think you definitely need to know, with the assumption that your photography is already good enough and meets the standards for car advertising. Because what I'm about to tell you is not about how good a photographer you are, but if you're advertising ready. So let's jump straight in. Hi everyone, it's Michael. I've been shooting commercial photography for over 20 years, mostly automotive, but also some financial and telecom clients, such as HSBC, Sprint, Ferrari, Tesla, and Volvo, to name a few. I also consult and mentor up-and-coming photographers. So if any of this piques your interest, feel free to reach out to me via email. And a very common question from my students is how to approach car brands and who to share their work with to be considered for campaign shoots. And understandably so, because if you take car photography seriously, it's often a dream job to shoot for a car brand. Which leads me to my first point about barking up the right tree. Have you guys heard of Kiko, or Goodby, Silverstein and Partners, or Commonwealth McCann? If you haven't, then you probably should, because these are advertising agencies who hire photographers to shoot for Porsche, BMW, and Chevrolet, respectively. Just 3 random examples. And the only way to shoot for these ad agencies is to put yourself in their radar via your marketing efforts and to get your work seen by their creative teams. Click here to see a video I did about marketing for photographers. The way it usually works is most car brands partner with a creative ad agency for all their advertising they make. So it's the creative people, art directors, art producers, art buyers working in these agencies you need to reach out to and build relationships with. And these relationships are extremely important because once you're in with an ad agency and they trust you, it's very possible that they may give you photo shoots for some of the other brands they work with. Just take a look at these photographers. Sam Hoffman is based in the UK and shoots still life and products for brands like Dior and Shiseido. And this is Ben Rayner out of New York. He shoots lifestyle for brands such as Converse and Smirnoff Vodka. Neither of these photographers shoot cars, but if they decided to, I bet the agencies would give them a better chance of a car job instead of an unknown car photographer, only because of the relationships they have built over time. And the agencies will see them as advertising photographers more than just car photographers. And just for some perspective and a reality check, building relationships take time, not weeks nor months, but maybe years. You may start shooting smaller agency jobs and not car related, and eventually build enough trust with an agency to get a car shoot, because most car shoots are big shoots, which are not often given to unknown and untested photographers. And one day an agency may reach out to you about a possible car shoot. Say someone from Lexus's agency, which is Team 1 by the way, emails you about a shoot. Then you'll need to convince them that you're the right photographer for the job. But how? My best analogy is to treat this like any job interview, because it basically is a job interview, where whatever impression you leave them, good or bad, is the one that sticks. So you need to interpret and dissect the brief and ask the right questions about missing pieces in the job, and there are always missing pieces. And here is my detailed video about the creative brief. And how well you understand the brief is directly reflected in what you include in your estimate. Did you specify the correct usage rights? Did you make sure to include all the line items in the expenses? Are your terms and conditions aligned to this job? Is your photography fee within the range? Overall, ad photographers are hired not only on their work, but also on their understanding of the job, their personality, and if their pricing falls within the ballpark range. And pricing is tricky because ad agencies do so many shoots and hire so many different photographers from around the world, so they perhaps have the best experience on what photo shoots cost, from photographers' rates, to catering, to location rental fees, and your prices have to magically fit in their ballpark range. And this is a huge topic on its own, and I also have a dedicated video just about pricing here, so check it out when you have 45 minutes to spare, because I have packed in a lot of details. And advertising photography costs a lot of money, which may catch some photographers off guard, especially those starting to shoot ad jobs. Clients have a lot on the line and need experienced photographers who have a great track record of delivering the shot. So these photographers obviously cost more. The usage may also be a lot, so licensing can cost more. And production expenses cost more too, to minimize the risk and ensure a good shoot. All this costs money because your clients are basically buying reassurance. In fact, the rates are higher just to minimize risk, period. From renting backups of critical equipment to paying a venue so you don't get kicked out, and also hiring the right people to support you. And building your team is really important because one, the fast pace and complexity of a commercial shoot requires more people to help. And two, a photographer needs to offload many tasks to the crew to concentrate on the photography itself and not be burdened by trivial issues. Digital techs, assistants, hair and makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, car detailers, set designers are all specialists in their field to support the photography. And a trusted crew will alleviate a lot of the pressure from the photographer so that he or she can manage to shoot and please the client, who are always there. Even retouchers, whom I've mentioned before in other videos, should be outsourced, if not for the simple fact that job deadlines are tight and they can retouch faster and better than most photographers. Clients are used to hiring retouching specialists, and sometimes even require control over retouching instead of the photographer. And I get it, building a team can take time, but the sooner you do it, the better chance you can pull off commercial shoots. And something else clients would really appreciate is getting as much of the shooting done in camera. Clients have actually told me this. During a photo shoot, the photographer obviously prioritizes this one job, but the client is often juggling multiple projects at the same time. So it's really important that they leave a photo shoot knowing that they got the shot, because they literally saw it on the tethered computer screen. This peace of mind translates to the confidence they can convey to their bosses and clients, and that they can continue with a campaign without worry. The last thing that they want to do is leave a shoot with a big question mark because they couldn't see the shot on screen, requiring their imagination to fill in the gaps temporarily, while the final image needs to be heavily photoshopped, which of course is after the shoot, which of course risks reshooting, which is really bad. And if you're wondering why I mentioned hair and makeup artists and wardrobe stylists just now, it's because, in case you haven't noticed, a huge chunk of car advertising includes people in the images. This started roughly the same time when social media started, so I can only guess there's some correlation because the essence of social media is about connecting people. So it makes perfect sense to show some human elements in car ads. And therefore, if you want to shoot more car campaigns, it's time to get used to photographing people as well, and include hair and makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, and modeling agencies as part of the team you build. Of course, it's really up to you if you want to shoot only the car, because those types of jobs still exist. I'm just saying that a lot of car shoots now require people, and you could potentially leave a lot of jobs on the table if your portfolio doesn't also show a firm grasp of lifestyle content. Because photography is already such a small niche in itself, why would you limit yourself even further by neglecting lifestyle images? While it doesn't hurt to be an amazing people shooter, you just need to be good enough to increase your chances to be considered for the job. Get some experience on how to cast models that match the type of car and the car brand, and learn some styling on what models wear in terms of occasion and color. These are things I had to pick up because, like some of you, I started shooting cars and only the car, but I've learned to embrace photographing people as well. And that's it. 5 things you may need to invest in beyond your actual photography to prepare yourself for the world of advertising. And let me know in the comments which points surprised you the most, or in other words, made you go, I didn't really know that. Of course, I'm catering to a wide YouTube audience here, so I kept this brief and general, but please reach out to me if you'd like a deeper session for your unique situation. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.